In this video, we'll talk about one-way streets. That's coming right up. Hey, it's Cheyenne from Zula Driving School, and let's get right into talking about one-way streets.
Alright, one-way streets. So let's talk about how you can tell if you're coming up to a one-way street. How do you know if you're turning left onto a one-way street? So imagine this is you driving on this stretch of road and you want to make a left turn. What are the things that will tell you if the street that you're turning left onto is a one-way street? Well, there might be a sign that says, that has an arrow like this. It's a black and white sign. There might be another sign, or instead of this sign, there might be a sign that says, with an arrow, one way. Now, if you can't spot these signs, or these signs are not there for whatever reason, you want to find other clues that will tell you whether this is a one-way street or not. One clue is if you look over here and there are parked cars that are facing this direction. This can be telling you that, hey, this is a one-way street. The other thing is, if you look at the center of the street, is there a center divide line? Is there an orange center divide line? If there isn't, if there's just white dotted lines like so, that's telling you that the direction of traffic is all in one direction. Another clue that you have is if you look at this side of the road or that side of the road, depending, and you see cars traveling in all lanes going in this direction. That could be another indication. Now, if you get there and these lines are not there, the cars are missing, the sign is not there, there's no cars approaching, the other way you can tell is, you know how when you come up to an intersection, you can see in front of you, you can see your traffic light. And then if you glance over to the left side, you can see the back of the traffic light for these cars, right? So you can't see what color their light is, but it will be the same as yours. And you can see one traffic light this way and one traffic light that way. And so you know there's oncoming cars approaching from the other direction. On a one-way street, there won't be a back of a traffic light. The traffic light would be, let's say, here. And when you look over to your left or to your right, depending on which way the arrow is facing, and you only see one set of traffic light and you can't see the back of another traffic light, then that's another indication that all the traffic is meant to go in this direction. Now, in BC, we are allowed to make a left turn onto a one-way street on a red. I know this is not the case in other areas, but in the particular province that we are in, you're allowed to. However, I don't necessarily recommend making a left turn onto a one-way street. And the reason is, usually you find one-way streets in downtown, and in the downtown core, there's lots of large buildings, especially at the corner of intersections, that block your view. So if you're sitting here at a red light and you want to turn left, and you got to make sure that it's safe before you make your turn. If there's a large building here, it's blocking your view to see whether there's cars approaching. So if there are cars approaching, let's say the cars here are parked. So the moving lane or the travel lane is this one. The first one is this. If we can't see this guy approaching and he's already got his signal on to the left, which means he wants to come here and turn left here. If we go forward to get a better line of sight as to whether there's a car approaching, and we go up to here and then see that this guy is coming to turn left, we're blocking his way to make a left turn, and we can't do that. So we can only make a left turn if it's safe to do so without obstructing the path of somebody else who has the right of way. In this case, they have the right of way. Now, imagine your light is green and these cars have stopped here obviously, and you're waiting here in your waiting position to turn left. Generally speaking, our waiting position would be with our back wheels in the crosswalk area. For a one-way street, you might not want to pull up this far out for your waiting position. Where you probably would want to wait is with your front wheels in the crosswalk area. The reason for that is when it's time to go, you want to turn into the first available lane. If you've crept further up, it's hard now to get into this first available lane, which we're required to do so. So I hope this sheds some light on how you would go about identifying one-way streets and turning onto a one-way street. Now, it's one thing for me to stand here and explain this on a whiteboard. It's another for you to get out there with a driving instructor or your co-ed driver and put this into practice. In addition, we offer an online video training course where we show you real footage of people making left turns onto one-way streets and how we can go about identifying one-way streets, so the clues we just spoke about. You can also see footage of people disregarding all the signs and then turning in the wrong direction onto a one-way street, and you can find out why it is that they do that. So I hope to see you in another video soon. Thank you.